On and off screen, Eamon Holmes and Ruth Langsford appeared to be the consummate power couple for a whole 27 years. But there were rumors of problems that were too unbelievable to accept at first, lurking behind the jokes and shared successes. After years of speculation, Holmes finally spoke out recently. Everything may have been different if he hadn't been honest about their relationship, his health issues, and a secret. While everyone was gone, what actually transpired? We will discover. Allow me to delve into the new details once we examine their friendship. This will help us understand Eamon Holmes' decision to speak out. A mutual friend and TV host, Sally Mean, introduced Ruth Langsford and Eamon Holmes in 1997, and the couple began an unofficial relationship. Holmes wanted to be respectful to his family after his recent divorce from his first wife, so he kept their connection under wraps. Hammer struck to Langsford by Holmes. Dedication to his children, she was captivated by his sincerity. Their romance blossomed naturally, and after 2 years, they were prepared to share their news with the world. The birth of their son, Jack, in 2002 only served to deepen their bond. A lot of people have heard the heartwarming tale of how Langsford learned she was pregnant the day before her godson's baptism. The fact that she informed her best friend Sam first rather than Holmes elevated the significance of the moment. Their intimacy as a pair was on full display at that seemingly little event. After over a decade of collaboration, Holmes and Langsford became this morning's co-hosts on Fridays in 2006. Their working connection was strengthened by this job. Langsford is the longest-running host of the show, having started in 1999. He faced new opportunities and threats as a result of his cooperation with Holmes. The difficulty of juggling her profession and husband's responsibilities is something she has been vocal about. They acknowledged that disagreements were inevitable, but that they would work through them by respecting one another. The two of them worked together on more than just This Morning. They co-hosted numerous shows, including Gift Wrapped on ITV, How the Other Half Lives on Channel 5, and Lose a Stone in 4 Weeks on Channel 4. Their own series, such as Eamon and Ruth's 7-Year Itch and Do the Right Thing, were even hosted by them. Holmes made the quip that they couldn't retire when he considered how long they had been on TV. He poked fun at the idea that society would be completely lost without them. Alvetham Hall in Hampshire was the site of the 2010 wedding, and Holmes concluded his divorce 5 years prior. After 13 years of dating, the two were finally together. Their subsequent residence was a stately 6-bedroom mansion in Weybridge, Surrey. After years of prosperity, this house was finally their prize. We got a glimpse of their dynamic again during Langsford's 2017 Strictly Come Dancing participation. She expressed her gratitude to Holmes for his understanding and support throughout her hectic schedule. According to her, they were close because their mutual respect got them through tough times at work and in their personal lives. However, during their journey, not everything went as to plan. From November 2021 forward, Holmes and Langsford's long-term positions on This Morning were abruptly terminated. The decision infuriated many, and Holmes later claimed that ITV should have informed them beforehand. He believed his dismissal was due to a contentious radio statement he made regarding the potential connection between 5G technology and the global coronavirus outbreak. A number of people complained to Ofcom, the media regulator in the UK, over Holmes's remarks, claiming that they were unfounded and ill-considered. To clarify, Holmes said that he wasn't trying to lend credence to conspiracy theories, but rather encourage critical thinking. But there was a lot of pushback. Ofcom issued a warning to ITV, emphasizing the significance of responsible programming. Still, Holmes has not expressed regret. His stance that mainstream news need to be scrutinized remains unchanged. Subsequently, he expressed his anger over being sacked, and he claimed that his dismissal from ITV was due to political interference. In spite of the negative coverage, Holmes was able to secure a position with GB News, where he currently hosts a morning program. However, behind the scenes, tensions were rising in the couple's relationship. Holmes and Langsford announced their separation on May 25th, 2024, after being married for 14 years. A representative from both sides acknowledged the decision to divorce, citing divergent career choices as the primary cause. Despite the fact that their marriage was officially over, they expressed their desire to remain friends. According to reports, their romance ended more quickly since they left in the morning. Supposedly, Holmes's growing animosity for his former colleague Philip Schofield and his wrath over his dismissal contributed to domestic tensions. Langsford remained a member of ITV's Loose Women cast, but she struggled to balance her duties as a wife and employee. The feud between Holmes and Schofield began with an occurrence on This Morning in 2019. Schofield interrupted Langsford mid-sentence while they were on air. Afterwards, Langsford formalized his disapproval of this. As a result of this PR stunt, tensions between the two groups have only grown. Holmes has been increasingly forthright about his distaste for Schofield throughout the years. Part of Holmes's identity was his tendency to say what was on his mind, which led to marital strife. His public attacks on Schofield and ITV, say some close to the pair, only made an already difficult situation worse. Regardless, Holmes remains steadfast in his conviction. He has no remorse for his actions. He foolishly believed he was merely defending his principles and himself. Even now, Holmes takes to the public forums to vent his frustrations, this time directed at Schofield's attempts to revive his career. There seemed to be little hope of them getting along again after their argument became one of the worst on British television. There are a lot of factors that contributed to the end of things between Holmes and Langsford. Their friendship is complicated due to their geographical separation and their hectic job schedules. Perhaps the primary reason they ultimately decided to go their own ways was because there was unfinished business. Some have speculated that it could be related to her realization that Eamon may not have much time left. Famous for his amiability and sense of humor, Eamonn Holmes is a beloved TV host. Several health issues he's had in recent years have tested his emotional and physical resilience. These issues have impacted his professional life as well, but have greatly affected his mobility, independence, and day-to-day living, about which he has been forthright. For a long time, Eamon endured discomfort in his lower back, hips, and legs. The agony prevented him from sleeping, hindered his ability to complete everyday tasks, and ultimately rendered driving an impossibility. He delayed the hip replacement surgery he so desperately required for over 30 years, despite the fact that he was in excruciating pain. At 55 years of age, he underwent a double hip replacement, but by then, the harm had already been done. The operation was successful in improving Eamon's mobility and quality of life, but he openly regretted delaying it and described it as the worst decision he had ever made. However, following that, his health began to deteriorate. Shingles, a virus that caused a painful rash and a temporary alteration in Eamon's facial appearance, was another terrifying occurrence that happened to him in 2018. According to him, he appeared as if someone had been struck by a baseball bat. The condition was particularly harmful since it affected the region surrounding his eyes, rendering them blind. In Eamon's opinion, the strain of his contentious legal battle with HMRC over This Morning might have been the catalyst for the epidemic. He was fortunate that his eyes weren't irreparably damaged, but the incident nonetheless left him feeling unsettled. In 2021, Eamon began to suffer from debilitating back pain, greatly reducing the quality of his existence. Everything from getting in and out of bed to getting into and out of a car was excruciatingly painful. An MRI scan revealed the source of the issue. His right leg was severely limited in movement due to 3 herniated discs in his back. Although he received epidural injections to alleviate the agony, their effects were temporary. His reliance on a cane became increasingly apparent. By May of the following year, his condition had deteriorated even further. Eamon had issues with his bladder and bowels while in Belfast, where he was organizing an event for his friend Gloria Hunniford. Because surgeons deemed the procedure too risky, he spent 9 days in the hospital. His issues escalated after returning home when he noticed that his left leg was exhibiting similar symptoms to his right. To everyone's amazement, unexpected sources of assistance were summoned. Joe O'Meara, a member of S Club 7, had comparable back issues and referred her to a German physician who helped her recover. After her success, Eamon made an appointment with the specialist and underwent surgery in September 2022. Although the procedure greatly alleviated his back pain, it did cause an unprecedented level of instability in his left leg. This vulnerability led to multiple disastrous falls. When Eamon tumbled 18 stairs in his Surrey home on October 11, 2022, it was the worst thing that could have happened. The fact that he was bleeding profusely from a broken shoulder and other injuries sustained in the fall rendered him much less functional. He needed to spend 6 weeks at a rehabilitation facility because of his injuries. The moment of the accident was the most agonizing. Due to his mobility issues, Eamon was unable to attend his mother's burial. But even more than his loss of a beloved brother, Eamon shared with me that our loss of sense of direction in life puts things into perspective and helps us better understand what. The opportunity to carry her casket was taken away from me, and I was deeply saddened by the loss. In his pursuit of a normal life, Eamon has immersed himself in a rigorous rehabilitation procedure. In order to build strength, he undergoes physiotherapy, targeted back exercises, and even takes cold baths daily. Despite his best efforts, he has made only little headway, and while on vacation in the United States, he used walking sticks, a wheelchair, and even a mobility scooter. Recent photos of him in London with his trainer highlight his resolute goal of walking unassisted once more. Nevertheless, Eamon has been forthright about the unfortunate reality that he may never again be completely self-sufficient. Insight into the struggles of those living with chronic pain and mobility issues has been provided by his candid account of his experiences, which have been distressing. Ruth Langsford was his co-host and wife back then. She discussed in 2022 how her marriage and family life had been impacted by Eamon's health issues. Helping a loved one through a difficult rehabilitation while also dealing with an uncertain future was difficult, as she always was. Since then, rumors have circulated that these issues played a significant role in their split. For over 15 years, one of the most beloved couples on British television, Eamonn Holmes and Ruth Langsford, were praised by millions of viewers this morning for their seamless chemistry. Their warm banter and natural chemistry made them appear to be inseparable at times. When they announced they were separating, it shocked fans who had followed their relationship for a while. They were wed for 14 years when the news broke early this year. Although many were initially overjoyed for the pair, rumors began circulating that Ruth had initiated the divorce due to the difficulty of caring for Eamon during his illness. Many people didn't know how to respond to this news. People felt bad for Eamon because he had problems getting about, and they felt bad for Ruth because they knew how hard it was to be a caregiver. The public has lately caught sight of Eamon and his new girlfriend. A 22-year-old woman named Katie Alexander and her boyfriend went on a romantic getaway to Spain. Eamon, who was accompanied by an electric wheelchair, appeared frail but content on their visits to Barcelona and Ibiza. Eamon was seen placing his hand on Katie's lower back in one moment, but they were also seen shopping, eating with friends, and generally being cordial. Seeing the former TV personality and his new girlfriend having fun was very sweet. Is drawing both positive and negative reactions, and many are concerned about the impact on his already troubled relationship with Ruth. In contrast, Ruth has remained composed throughout the split and has refrained from commenting on Eamon's behavior or public displays of affection for Katie. Still, her naughty deed of revenge made headlines. In preparation for their Mediterranean voyage with Katie, Ruth let Eamon access to their previous residence so he could gather supplies. To everyone's amusement, though, she stealthily removed the 2,000-pound chair that Eamon had installed in 2022 for his mobility aid. Consider how irate Eamon must have been upon returning home to see the chair missing. What should have been a simple visit became a major ordeal. Although Ruth's friends found her antics amusing and a great way to recall her intelligence, outsiders may view them as insignificant. It appears that Eamon doubted her ability to successfully execute the surprise. The divorce proceedings between Eamon and Ruth will not be amicable, regardless of how you slice it. Ruth has hired Catherine Costley, widely regarded as one of the top UK divorce attorneys. When it comes to high-profile cases, Costley is notoriously aggressive. Costley trained with Fiona Shackleton and is a seasoned lawyer and Ironman competitor. Notoriously hard-nosed, both in-game and off-screen. Since Ruth is engaged, there is little space for negotiation, and she appears prepared to battle for a good bargain. In contrast to Ruth, Eamon and Katie have not shied away from being in the public eye. Their rumored 10-year relationship has sparked much speculation over the exact day they began dating. Despite initial speculation that they met in 2015 on social media, recent information suggests that Katie and George Alexander began dating in 2012, during Katie's marriage to ex-husband George Alexander. According to George, Katie and Eamon's first interaction was a series of innocent, flirtatious messages sent on social media. George went so far as to mock her obsession with Eamon. More and more conversations ensued as time went on, which resulted in a long-lasting friendship. Rumor has it that Eamon began showering Katie with lavish presents a year before he dumped Ruth, even though there's no evidence that they were dating while she was married. Concert tickets, vacation packages, and other thoughtful presents were among them. Ever after rumors of their romance began to circulate, Eamon and Katie couldn't be seen apart. They spent 4 consecutive days eating at the same spot in Belfast, where Eamon spent his childhood in August. They recently attended a friend's wedding in Essex, where they posed for photos with the bride, TV host Hayley Sparks. They appeared relaxed and content. Katie looked stunning in a dark gown, while Eamon in a dapper blue suit. Rumor has it that they are actively seeking a home together, which would indicate that their relationship is progressing swiftly. Katie appears dedicated to their future together and refers to Eamon as her partner, despite the age difference of 22 years. According to those in the know, Katie has dated men far older than herself. A man who was 40 years her senior was the father of her son. Also, Ruth's attorneys are meticulously documenting every aspect of Eamon and Katie's interactions in order to construct a timeline. Someone close to Ruth has said that they are trying to find evidence that Eamon's relationship with Katie began earlier than he claims. Everyone in their social circles, including Katie's ex-husband George, needs to be approached in this way. Meanwhile, Eamon and Katie have always stated that they began dating following the breakup of their respective previous engagements. They allegedly reached out to their ex-partners to explain what transpired between them, emphasizing that their online chats were simply for fun back then, in an effort to put their ex-partners' minds at ease. Not long ago at the Irish Post Awards, the pair made their public debut. It was their first time attending an event together. However, they had been spotted together informally previously. They were too cute for words to be apart all night long in their matching formal wear. It was stated that Eamon requested that photographers refrain from taking images of them seated at their table together, implying a desire for seclusion, despite being in a public location. Ruth, through it all, has maintained her focus on her own path. Her connection with Eamon she compared to that of Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, she had previously stated. Over the years, she added, They had their share of ups and downs. Their story, unfortunately, is obviously not going to have a Hollywood ending. When asked about his health earlier this year, Eamon characterized the situation as, "For the time being, he appears to be finding solace in the company of Katie, a psychologist renowned for her empathy. Eamon appears to have gotten a new start with Katie's assistance, and Ruth is handling the challenges of their breakup with the usual grace." A few months back, Ruth informed a friend who wanted to know where her wedding band was that she was still married. But new developments, such Eamon's frequent public appearances with Katie and Ruth's resolve to gain a favorable outcome, with the help of her formidable legal team, this narrative appears to be nearing its conclusion. Eamonn Holmes and Isabel Webster recently got into a heated argument on the GB News morning show, when individuals began discussing what writer L. John Wertheim regarding the appearance of tennis player Barbara Krejcikova, particularly her face. Despite their usual cordial relationship, Eamon and Isabel got into an unusual disagreement because this debate escalated too far. Paul Coit initiated the discussion by mentioning Wertheim's remarks. Isabel immediately reacted negatively to the reporter's comments, describing them as impolite and lacking professionalism. To lighten the tone, Eamon joked that Isabel might be so sensitive about her appearance that she has such a strong reaction. After the joke backfired, Isabel spoke out strongly against the unequal treatment of women in public. Viewers agreed with her that this type of criticism reveals larger double standards. However, Eamon strongly disagreed, stating that men and women alike often get insults on their appearance. As a joke, he said that if he were to ever play professional tennis, people would probably start judging him based on his appearance. Many viewers agreed with Isabel that Wertheim's remarks were cruel and useless despite his best efforts to lighten the situation. The fact that Wertheim had made those comments on a Tennis Channel show with his microphone still turned on was later revealed. As soon as Barbara Krejcikova mentioned the event on social media, it gained a great deal of interest. The 28-year-old tennis pro was irritated because Wertheim cared more about her appearance than her performance. An emotional Krejcikova made a statement stressing the need for pundits to respect sportsmen and their work rather than make superficial comments about them. According to her, this is just one example of the widespread problem of unprofessionalism in sports commentary, one that detracts from the dedication and effort of athletes. Krejcikova made it very apparent that these diversions detract from the true essence of athletics, which is to celebrate perseverance and achievement. Despite her anger, she reiterated her love for tennis and her wish for the sport to be portrayed in a manner that honors the athletes who play with passion. In response to the mounting criticism, Tennis Channel acted decisively and permanently banned John Wertheim,